Hello. Can you hear me fine? Hi. I suggest we wait a few minutes for others to potentially come.
Okay. So this is the only topic in today's meeting.
Yes, I have not seen any other topic added in the agenda.
Okay.
Thanks for joining. I don't know if anyone else will join the meeting today. We could wait a minute or we could start now, as you want. What do you think?
Okay. So I think we can start now. Because the meeting is also recorded.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Thanks for joining.
Okay. So today I will give a report for the RFX mentorship. and tell something about the work I have done. Let me share my screen. Oh, okay. Can you see my slide?
Not
no.
yet.
Thanks. Okay, let's
see.
start. So I'm Tianyi Liu, and I'm a mentee in the RFX mentorship program for the spring term this year. And the mentorship program has been ended about 2 weeks ago. So in today's meeting, I'd like to make a short report on the work I have done.
Sorry
and
for the
it
interruption. I still cannot see the slides on your screen. I see a message that you started screen sharing, but I don't actually see it.
Let me check.
I don't know if I should click on something.
Maybe let me change to another node of my VPN.
Okay,
Can you see now?
I still cannot see it.
Okay. So I think I can upload my slides to a Google Doc, and you can you can take a look at where on.
Yes, I can share on my computer if you want. If you give them. If you can share them on the chat, for example.
I'm trying to upload the file to the Slack channel. But I don't know how to fix the screen recording. Seems that the macOS has given the permission to it.
Yeah, okay, I can see the slide on Slack. So yeah, I
okay.
think seems a good idea.
Okay. So I can.
It's loading on my computer.
Let's look at the slides on the Slack channel, and I can just speak with it. Right, and I'm talking on the second page, the overview. My work mainly consists about the following items. First, I implement the support for uProp, and as an important part, I also support the USDT trace points. And with that, I have ported some uProp-based gadgets to the Inspektor Gadget. Right. Such as the SSL and memleak and deadlock and something. Deadlock is not available for now. And there are also some lightweight features, such as the kernel stack maps. And we also supported the RSM trace points. And finally, there is an open issue. That is to unwind the stacks in the user space. And I maybe you also have some ideas about that, and maybe we can discuss something about that. So first, for supporting the uProp, the usage is very easy to use. You just need to write the section uProp and library name, function name as function name. And the usage is as same as the kprop functions. And the implementation is very simple. there's only one difficulty, that is to avoid duplicate events. And in the next page, I described what is the duplicate events issue and how we deal with that. The issue comes from when we are trying to attach to two containers, and the two containers are showing the same image. In the graph, you can see that there are two containers, and they are showing the same image. So the libc library file on the real disk is the same. And because the implementation of Linux, when we attach to container one, when we attach to the file in container one, we are actually attaching to the file on the real disk. It will find the file across. Let's say that it will find the file through the overlay FS and find the real file on the disk. That means if I attach to container one, then the container two will also be attached. And if I don't know that and I attach another trace point to container two, then the two containers will all the two containers will all generate duplicate events. And if you have more containers, the duplicate times of the events will be more and more. All right. And the resolution is to check if the file is already being attached before we actually do the attaching. That means if we are trying to attach container two, we are trying to attach the libc in container two. We first try to identify the file in container two and check if it's the same as the container one. We are finally using the kfile fields to get the address of the structure inode in the kernel, and that is there's another approach that is available in the older kernel of Linux, but is not available for now because the overlay FS will overwrite the FS ID of the file on real disk since maybe 5.15. So after that, that approach is not working, and we are currently using the address in the kernel address of the struct inode of the real file to identify and use it as an unique ID of the file. Right, and next page, we are also supporting the USDT trace points. So let me introduce how it works. The USDT trace points is used to provide some stable trace points in the application, and it is very similar to the trace points in the kernel. If you use USDT header and write some USDT trace points in your program, then the information of the USDT trace points will be stored in a specific section of the IO file. Then we just read the we can just read the USDT information out and we attach according to the information. And the only difficulty is that the USDT trace points support some arguments, but for the performance, it doesn't require the arguments to be stored in the register, and it can be stored in any position. And the USDT information stored in the IF section will tell us how to read the USDT argument. And the location might be very complex because it may use many registers for address calculating. Right, and the argument may be stored in register, and it might also be stored in memory. To support these argument formats, other projects like BCC and BPF trees are using their LLVM backend to generate some code to parse the corresponding formats. But for us, our gadgets are pre-compiled, so we cannot generate code and compile it in time. So we need a USDT argument parser to support all these situations. And to achieve this, we also designed a proxy to support the most commonly used argument formats, maybe in the red picture. Okay, and for now, the USDT pull request is still under review, and it will be merged soon. Right, and we also provide some helper functions to read the arguments, and you just need to write one line. And next page is the kernel stack maps. It is also easy to use. You just need to include a header file and add a gadget kernel stack field in your event structure. And then use the gadget get kernel stack helper function. And if it returns a valuable stack, the IG will automatically resolve the kernel symbols for you, and it will display the kernel stack in the IG front end. And next page is the RSM trace points. It is much easier because you just need to write a section RSM and the hook name as the section name, and is also very similar to the kprops and uprops. Okay. And above are the works I have already done. And the following is some open issues that I want to discuss about. Right. So next page. Right. This is the question I want to discuss about. It is how to unwind user stack. Unwinding and symbolizing the stacks of the applications may be very useful to understand application behaviors. For example, you can trace syscall and trace some RSM trace points. Maybe you can also you can also some hooks. You can also hook on the proof events, and you can if the event is triggered, you can know what the application is actually doing. And Linux has already provided a helper function that's named the BPF get stack ID. But this function only supports unwinding with the frame pointers. To use the frame pointers, you need to compile your application using the no omit pointers, and that may brings about 2% of performance loss. So not many people will like to use it. And and instead of the BPF get stack ID and the frame pointers, we also have many other approaches. For example, we can use the exception frame, and that is used to unwind the CPP and Rust. And for Golang, it also has something similar. It has a table to unwind the stack. And there are also some special situations. There are also some situations that require specially handling. For example, the signal stack, that means the kernel send a signal to the application, and the application will hold a stack that is not the same as the normal stack. And the VDSO functions is also something special. That it doesn't have a EH frame, and you have to use the frame pointers to unwind it. And there are some more difficult parts, that is the interpreter-based languages. For those languages, you may need to ask the interpreter to inject some frame pointers, or if not, you need some very complex approaches to amend them. And for us, I have already attempted to implement the to write an amender based on the EH frame, and it aims to support the CPP and Rust. The implementation is very complex because the format of the EH frame is SMS the derived debug info, and the format itself is turning complete. That means I mean the stack may be very difficult it might be very difficult, and it can support unlimited operations to amend the stack, and that is not available in eBPF. And also, only supporting the EH frame approach is not enough, because although in native applications we also need the signal stack and the VDSO functions, and maybe other situations like the PRT table, that all of them need special approaches to be amended. So I think maybe the code size may be much more, and although we just want to support the native applications, there may be 2 or 3,000 and maybe more code, and it will be hard to maintain. And based on this, I'm also trying to use other projects and import them into our project. And next page, I write some possible choices that we can have. The first choice is to implement by our own, and the second is to import a popular project as a Golang package. It looks well, but while I'm trying, I found that their project is using CGO, and they're using it to import some content, some constants in the headers, and they also write some code to decode some structures. And if we want to remove the CGO and compile it with CGO disabled, it may affect the program structure, and it may need a lot of work. So I finally gave up. And I'm currently trying the third approach, that is using other projects as a standalone process. This also looks well, but we need some protocol to for the communication between IG and the amender agent. And on next page, I draw the current design of my current work. You can see the IG and the OTIL profiling agent. There, data to the IG is the Inspektor Gadget running in the user space, and the OTIL profiling agent is a user space agent to fetch each frame info and debug info, and it will pass the necessary information to the eBPF amender. And for IG, there is the eBPF gadget. That is the gadget we commonly use. And to use OTIL profiling agent to amend the stack, in the eBPF gadget, we want to use the tail call to trigger the eBPF amender, and the amender will send the stack to the agent, and later we can use gRPC to fetch the stack from the agent. but how to call the eBPF unwinder that is loaded by the hotel profiling agent to achieve this we write extension we have write an extension in the hotel profiling agent and it can create a socket and send the file describer to IG. Then IG will put the file describer into a eBPF map. That is the eBPF program map. So in this way, the file describer of the eBPF unwinder will be passed to the eBPF gadget, and it can use a tail call to trigger the unwind. And in that way, the stack the stack comes from the eBPF gadget, and it goes to the eBPF unwinder, and be sent to the hotel profiling agent, and then finally use gRPC to get to come to the IG. Right. But there are also some difficulties in here, because the hotel profiling agent is just for profiling. I have successfully used a gadget and trigger the hotel profiling agent to unwind the stack. But unluckily, we don't the eBPF unwinder will not assign a stack ID. Will not assign an ID to the stack. So although the stack is unwinded and it is well symbolized and it is set to the IG, we don't know. We can't match the stacks with the gadget. Because there is no identifiers for the stack. So I think maybe the hotel profiling agent also needs some modification to support this. And I'm currently working on this and communicating with the community in the and I'm also communicating with the community of the hotel profiling agent and to ask them if they want to support this. And I will also work on this to help them. Right. Okay. That's all the work I have done, and for the unwinding, right. Let me first ask if there are any questions about the above contents. Maybe we can change to the overview page. And if you have any questions, you may ask.
I don't have question because I was following, but I find it very impressive, the work you have done. I see, Francis, you have a question?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for the work, really complete, really appreciated. Thank you also for the presentation. It was cool to have a global overview of the work that you achieved during this time period. I have some questions with regard to the Winder, particularly, I think, two. The first one would be, did you take a look at what people from Follow Signal did with regard to eBPF and Winder based on frame and using also dwarf information, or you did not take a look at it?
Yes, the hotel profiling agent supports all the situations, including the signal, VDSO, and frame, and also many interpreter-based languages like Java, Node, and Python.
Sorry, but I was not asking about the hotel
Sorry.
profiling agent. The hotel profiling agent, I do not know it, and I will definitely take a look at it because it seems really, very interesting. I was wondering about, because some times ago there was some blog post from a company named Polar Signals, who basically developed an eBPF-based frame unwinder with which is based on both EH frame and also Dwarf. You know, Dwarf is a type of debug information that you can use to store some debug information. So I was wondering if you take a look at what they did, because maybe it comes as a Golang package or as something that we can reuse, and so it would be quite cool to reuse their work, because as you said, it is really complex to code it and then to maintain it. So if we can reuse something already existing and bring our own modifications, then it would be easier for everyone, and also everyone will be able to use this modification. So yeah, did you take a look at it?
Oh, yes. Right. The hotel profiling agent is not designed to be used by other eBPF projects. So I'm also I'm trying to make it support being used by other eBPF projects, like what I showed in the slides. Right, and I'm also communicating with their community if they want to support that. Right, and finally, I want to make it to be commonly to be a common tool, right, or to be a common agent that can be used in many projects. Right, sorry, I don't know much about Apollo's. Yes. Polar Signals, I know, is also a project. Is also a project that can be used to invent the EH frame. Oh, I know. It is used in the Praka agent. That is also a reference project. I have looked into. But since that their implementation is similar to the hotel profiling agent, and it is written in their project is written in C or CPP. I don't much remember. So it seems I'm using the hotel profiling agent because it's written in Golang, and maybe the developers of our community are more familiar with that. And it also supports more languages than the Praka agent. Because in the Praka agent, for example, to invent Java, it still needs the JVM to provide some frame pointers, and it also needs an agent to be injected into the JVM. So I think it's not elegant enough, and the hotel profiling agent do not require any assistance from the JVM, and it can invent the JVM stack itself, and that's why I choose to use the hotel profiling agent.
Okay, nice. Thank you for the precision. I will definitely take a look at the hotel profiling agent, because yeah, I read a bit about that of Polar Signal, but yeah, hotel profiling agent, I did not know a lot about it. So yeah, I will definitely catch up on it. And yeah, thank you for shedding some light on it.
Oh, thanks. I think maybe after some time, the Praka agent may also support the same thing. Right, because the Praka agent and the hotel profiling agent adjust adjust the projects for the same usage.
Thanks. I have another question about you talk about signal stacks on VDSO functions, and I can see it's important for the hotel agent because it's a performance profiling tool. So when the timer say we have to take a sample of the stack. It can happen at any random moment. But most of the gadgets are not like this. Most of the gadgets are not attached to as a profiler, but on specific uprob or kprob or something. So I was wondering,
Oh, right.
maybe we don't need special care about signal stacks or VDSO functions.
Oh, yes. The signals and VDSO, I think it will be rarely used. But I saw in the hotel profiling agent that they say the PRT table also needs some special handling. I think the PRT is if you use a dynamic library, then the address will be filled into that. I'm not sure what is I'm not sure why it needs specially handling, but but I saw they write some they write many code about that, and that is also a special situation in the user space agent. So I think that is the main blocker for me.
Thanks. Do we have any other questions?
Right. I think I think if you want, I can also write the each frame emitter for the Inspektor Gadget. Uh, uh, but I think but only the native emitter in the hotel profiling agent is about 2,000 lines of code. And if you also account into the if you also count the user space agent, I think the code may be maybe up to 8,000 or 10,000. Right. So that's also why I don't want to implement the each frame emitter by our own. And you also you may also need to identify that if a memory area should be amended using the each frame or using the frame pointer or using some special signal stacks. Yes, I think that may be that may make the Inspektor Gadget project much more complex. And there will be many codes in a package, and the package size maybe as same as the Inspektor Gadget project.
Yes, there is a trade-off here. I can
Yes.
understand. I think for discussing the trade-off, it might be good to discuss that on GitHub to have it written on understand what's better.
Oh, yes.
For my side, I like the approach you described in the last slide, like not try to do everything in Inspektor Gadget and add thousands of lines of code, but find a way to integrate with other projects. And when it's not possible, improve the other projects so they become usable by us.
Oh, right. And I'm also willing to continue my work on that.
Thank you.
Okay. So thank you for your time.
Thank you as well for all the works. It was great to have you in this mentorship in the last 3 months.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
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 Bye.